On today's show,
Kevin Durant returns from injury and the Warriors sweep the Blazers. But are the Dubs better than last year's squad?
Portland is gone. Should one of their backcourt stars be sent packing too?
And we look ahead to tonight's action, including whether OKC can extend their series.
It's Tuesday, April 25th. The starter starts, Norm!
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to The Starters, presented by Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey. Whether you're listening to the podcast, joining us live right now on NBA TV or later on YouTube, we're very, very happy to have you. I'm Jay Skeets, and alongside me, as always, it's the gentleman, Tass Mellis.
Yeah, I lost the gentleman's bet to cameraman Todd when I picked the Wizards over the Hawks. And there he is.
Way to go, Todd!
What do you say about gentleman's bets, Todd?
You never lose a gentleman.
No one loses when you have a
You look
gentleman's
sharp,
bet because
man.
you get to dress up and
You
you
look
get to
sharp.
see Todd dancing like
You
that.
get to see Todd dancing, you got the suspenders and the bow tie. Great. All right, to his right, it's the international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friend.
Lele, and certainly last, but not least. Wait.
What?
Yeah, last, but no, never mind. It's the bearded one, Trey Kirby.
Hey,
TK, man, I was up early this morning, man. How you
It's
doing,
all right,
TK?
man. Certainly last over here. I'm at the internet
Technically
looking
you
for
were.
your best tweets. Hashtag the starters. And if you've ever wanted to see Larry Bird driving a race car, you're weird. But today is your lucky day because the Pacers president did just that yesterday, driving an Indy car 4 blocks down 5th Avenue in NYC to deliver the Pacers' bid for the 2021 All-Star Game. Larry Legend said this was a bucket list kind of thing, and if you look how happy he is driving that Indy car, I have to imagine that's true. But it brings us to today's question. What is Larry Bird's driver nickname? Because all the great drivers have nicknames like the King and the Intimidator or Wonder Boy. So we got some suggestions for you. For instance, you could call him Leadfoot Larry. Kind of a play on Larry Legend. If you're driving fast, you got a lead foot. Or you could call him Mr. Who's Coming in Second after his famous quote at the three-point contest. There's also a lot of Mr. names in driving for some reason, but my favorite possible, the Ostrich. He's moving fast, he's a bird, but he ain't flying. But we want to hear from you, so let us know on Twitter. What is Larry Bird's driver nickname? Send us your best tweets to hashtag the starters. We'll hear from you later.
All right, get those tweets in. You're number 4 in the program, but you're number 1 in my heart, Trey.
I appreciate
want you to
that.
know that.
Thank
All
you
right?
very much.
All right, we got a fun show tonight. We got the up-down report. We'll look ahead to tonight's 3 games of playoff action, but we start by looking back at last night, playing a little true or false playoffs edition. Trey's got the questions, and we'll debate whether his statements, whether those cues are true or false. Trey.
Bad news, NBA. The Warriors are back! With Kevin Durant in the lineup after missing the previous 2 games, the Dubs scored 45 points in the first quarter to help finish off their sweep of the Trailblazers. That left Portland head coach Terry Stotts saying they're better than they were last year, more versatile, more explosive. So, true or false, the Warriors are better than last year.
True. Roster aside, they're fresher this year. Last year when they went for 73, they were drained, and they talked about it. This year they didn't do that, and they added Kevin Durant. So their offense is better. Steph Curry is healthy. Kevin Durant showed that he can play D. So their defense is good. They just swept a team for the first time since the first round of 2015. They're a better squad going into the second round than they were last year, for sure.
The criticism has been that they were deeper last year and they had to give up a lot of that depth in order to get Durant. But if you look at their second unit, it's still pretty good. JaVale McGee's been really good for them. David West has been good. Pat McCaw, the young guys coming through. I mean, I think their bench is just as good as it was last year.
That's what's scary about this, right? They just swept a pretty solid Blazers team. I know they're the 8th seed and they're a 500 squad, and Nurkic obviously not there for most of it. I get that, but that's still a pretty solid team there in the Blazers. They just hammered them last night. The game was over in 4 minutes. I've never seen a game like that where you're like, well, this one's done.
It was wild.
Obviously sweep the series, and this was without Kevin Durant for a couple games. Obviously returned last night, played some limited minutes. No Matt Barnes for this whole thing, and Sean Livingston played 1 game in this series.
Yeah.
So they're going to add some more depth. I think the answer absolutely is true. It was probably true July 4th when Kevin Durant said he was going to the Warriors. I mean, no matter how deep your team was, no matter how many wins you won the year before, once you had Kevin Durant, you're just a better basketball team.
And that loss last year in the finals has hardened them, I think. It's made them tougher. They know not to take anything for granted because they were on the brink of a second championship and they lost it. This year they know nothing matters unless they win the championship, and they're going to go out and prove it, and they're not going to take their foot off the gas at all. 45 points in the first quarter in a closeout game. Last night you could have easily thought they could have said, you know what, we can mail this one in. We're going back to Golden State anyway, get it in 5. Instead, they just go out and took care of business.
No, they couldn't. Chance the Rapper has a scheduled date there in the Oracle. He had to take care of it, so they did. All right, Trey, next one.
Guys, all of Toronto is going normcore because last night Raptors head coach Dwayne Casey had Norm Powell in the starting lineup for the second straight game. And the second-year man knocked down 4 threes, dunked all over the Bucks, and scored 25 in a big Raptors win. True or false, Norman Powell is the series' biggest X factor?
I don't think he's the series' biggest X factor because in their 2 previous wins, Norman Powell a DNP in the first Raps win and then 12 points in the second one. But when he's playing great, it's an indicator that they're moving the ball. You can teach an old dog new tricks because this Raptors offense doesn't move the ball all that well. But Norman Powell, when he's going, it's an indicator that DeMar DeRozan isn't shooting over double teams. And I think it helps DeMar. Pass it out. You can't load up on him anymore because they're moving the ball. Listen, they had 118 points last night.
Huge.
They shot 58%. They were unstoppable. Norm or not, they were winning this game. But Norm is obviously great at that spot when they're moving the ball around because he drives it.
Yeah.
He's tenacious. I love so many sports words when it comes to Norm Powell. he really is relentless. He's perfect in that role when guys are throwing it around.
But he also stays in the offense as well. He's not out there just chucking it away. He's perfect from downtown in those last 2 games that he started. And again, it does take the weight off DeRozan and Lowry having to be the ones to generate baskets all the time. When the ball moves around and you've got a young, energetic guy like him who comes in and he wants to start and he wants to do the best he can, it eases so much tension in the Raptors offense because in a playoff series, you have to learn to adjust if you're being exposed. And that's what the Raptors have done so far.
I was going to say, have the Raptors sort of figured out the Bucks' aggressive sort of trapping defensive style, and it is, hey, move the basketball and you're going to get open looks? So a little bit, I think so. You don't think so?
Well, they did that yesterday for sure, but they knew that going into the series.
Yeah.
So they've only really done it in 1 game, and they're up 3-2, but they're a more talented team. And Norm Powell doesn't have to go for 20-plus for them to win because they've got a DeMar, because they've got a Lowry, because they've got an Ibaka. They've got enough guys who can score, and that's why I think Chris Middleton is more of an X factor in this series because there just aren't as many guys on that team who can score the basketball the way there are in the Raptors. Norm just has to do his job very well, but this Raptors team is more talented. Let's see if they keep it going in Game 6.
That's a big part of it too, right? And we talked about it a little bit. Not just Norm chipping in 25 points and hitting all those threes. It's now he's in the starting lineup, and DeRozan doesn't have to play Middleton on defense. You know, DeRozan can relax a little bit on Tony Snell. It's just an easier cover for him, and Snell's actually been on fire in this series from 3, but that's Middleton is such a much more difficult cover. You put Powell on him for a good chunk of it, DeRozan can save a little bit of that energy, so that works as well, along with Serge going to the 5, and it's working right now, but this series has been weird.
Snell was great
Just
yesterday.
when you figure it out, something else happens. All right, Trey, final one.
John Wall and Brad Beal combined for 54 points and 12 assists last night, but the rest of the Wizards scored just 47 points as the Hawks took Game 4 to even up the series. The House of Guards have been great all series long, but true or false, Wall and Beal need help to beat the Hawks?
I think it's true.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, because
Certainly on the road.
The Hawks are doing it by committee here. I mean, it's a bit of it. Last night was a great example. That was, sort of looked like it felt a little bit more like the old Hawks there, where everybody was winning.
Or some
the
Bud
player
Ball.
of the month. Yeah, it was Bud Ball. You had 7 guys scoring in double figures, and you got an engaged Dwight Howard, which has been huge in those 2 wins at home against the Wizards. You got Kent Bazemore with a good performance, and Jose Calderon. Where did that come from? Like an engaged Jose, like up on Beal and chipping in some points, a plus 29 in his limited minutes. So they got a little bit from everybody. Whereas Trey's, as he said, like right now it's just Wall and Beal, and Gortat has given them nothing here in Atlanta, and same with Morris.
Yeah, I think Morris maybe has gotten a little bit caught up with the off-court stuff, the MMA stuff, and then he's had that little beef with Paul Millsap.
Foul trouble has been a nightmare.
Foul trouble throughout the whole series
Yeah.
has been pretty bad. But if you are going to be involved in all that stuff, you have to actually then go out and deliver on the floor, and he hasn't been able to do that. And Gortat as well, he was great in those first 2 games, kept Dwight Howard pretty much off the boards and kept him under wraps. But down here in Atlanta,
He scored 4 points in Atlanta.
Yeah.
4 points after 2 really good games in Washington.
But the Hawks just won 2 home games, so I don't think you got to get too down if you're a Wizards fan. Obviously, this is terrible, and Gortat needs to do a little bit more. This is still a team game, so yeah, Wall and Beal need some help, but they can go home and take care of business, and then they're still up 3-2. So it looks bleak right now, but they just held home court. Really.
The only thing I would counter with that, though, is in the Hawks' losses, I think they have looked better than at times the Wizards have in these
Yeah.
two games. Obviously, Game 3 was a bit of a write-off. I think even when the Wizards were winning those games, the Hawks were sticking around somehow in those games, despite not having great games from some of their guys. That was
Yeah,
the only
last
weird
night
part. That's all I'll
the Wizards
say.
had a couple of really bad spurts where no one could score a basket at all, and that's where they can't rely just on Veal and Wall. Someone
Right.
else has to
Someone's
go.
gotta step
But
up.
again, guys like Oubre, they came in, he got in foul trouble, couldn't get into a rhythm, so they didn't have anyone else who could get them that basket other than Bogdanovic, who got a couple.
Yeah,
Maybe the hype has gotten to the Wizards too.
That's possible.
They are sort of the Cinderella team to take out the Cavs right now.
to go a
right?
little deeper, yeah, for sure. All right, we got to take a break here. Lots more still to come on the starters when we come back. Do the Blazers need to break up their dynamic backcourt? We'll throw out that question, debate that, and more in the Up-Down Report. Don't go anywhere. Back with the starters right into the Up-Down Report, where we figure out where the four of us stand on some hot-button NBA topics. First one, guys, the Blazers season ended last night in difficult fashion. The 128-103 loss to the Warriors. And as is the case when teams get swept, questions about what's next are asked, such as, should the Blazers keep Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum as their backcourt for the future? People are throwing it out there already, maybe because of their defensive liabilities together. But what do you guys think? Up or down on the Blazers trying to move either a Lillard or a McCollum? The thumbs are down already from most. Trey, you're a little torn.
I'm sideways. I think they should give it a shot next year with Yusuf Nurkic healthy. They were great after the All-Star break. 18-8, that's a 56-win pace. But I think eventually you're going to have to trade one of these two guys. They're too similar. They both score the same way. They're both little. The difference between them and the Warriors is Klay Thompson is 6'8" and can guard most guards out there. I just think that by the time they get near the end of their contracts, they're going to be making like half the cap, plus Evan Turner's around, plus Allen Crabbe's around. Too many guys that do the same thing.
Yeah, I think they have got too many guys that do the same things, but I wouldn't trade one of those two guys yet. I mean, they're both potential all-stars, and when you've got a good, solid backcourt like that, perhaps, their defense does need to improve. I just think keep those guys and try to shuffle the other guys in and out to get some better players around them. But when you've got two very, very solid players, don't give one of them away unless you're getting an absolute certainty, surefire guy in return.
You agree with him?
I'd explore every other opportunity to trade the guys who are under long deals like Allen Crabbe or Myers Leonard or Mo Harkless to get a small forward who can play defense to help them out. In such a guard-centric league, it'd be great to have two studs around, but you definitely need a Clay type to play some D for sure beside them.
And the Blazers have 3 picks in this upcoming draft. Either maybe package them together and move up a little bit, or maybe just take a flyer and maybe you get a defensive wing or a forward or something like that. We'll see. I'm with you guys, though. I wouldn't trade one of those guys. All right, next one here. Oh, the Rockets are offering $1 beers, sodas, nachos, and hot dogs for fans who arrive early to tonight's Game 5 against OKC. Houston's promotion is an attempt to try and fill the stands early here, as the Toyota Center has seen some late arriving crowds in these playoffs. A lot of people blame traffic. But anyway, what do you guys think? Up or down on the Rockets selling $1 concessions?
Oh yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah,
That's right.
Who could be down on this? Dollar
It
beers.
happens in every town. In Toronto yesterday, when they had a great crowd and they were yelling raps in six. They were late to start the game. They were late in the third quarter. It happens.
Jack Armstrong wasn't happy,
He
apparently.
was not. And I had my friend Dave Seton texting me. They weren't there for the anthem either. Fans were mad, but you get them eating nachos. You get after work, you're done. Where am I going to go eat? Well, you can get a cho for $1. I can get a hot dog for $1.
You don't usually want to go to the arena sometimes. You're just like, it's a little
Yeah.
too expensive. This
That's
is
the
perfect.
thing.
Great deal.
They're too expensive anyway during the regular season. Make them $1 all season long. Guarantee you'd
That's
never.
a businessman. That's a businessman.
I guarantee you'd sell them out. It's all about the add-on sales. Once you get them in the door, learn that from Mark
upsales,
Cuban
sure.
on Shark Tank.
That arena can be loud.
Yeah.
And it would be loud if there were people buying beer prior to the game.
Yeah, maybe they'll be a little too loud tonight if they've been drinking beer hours prior to the game, but I guess we'll see.
That's the exciting thing. It could go hilariously bad, too,
Yeah.
which would be a win for us. So, yeah, everybody's up on this for sure.
Okay, we're all up on that. All right, final one here. Ahead of Game 4 in Milwaukee, Raps teammates PJ Tucker and Patrick Patterson, they found themselves in the locker room wearing identical, very expensive T-Rex sweaters. And Patrick Patterson shared the pic on Instagram, writing, YSL sweater, $800. Amiri jeans, $700. Shoes, $550. Walking into the locker room, seeing your teammate in the exact same outfit as you, priceless. Hashtag SMH, hashtag Raptors, hashtag men's fashion. I love that one there. All right, guys, up or down on PJ Tucker there and Patrick Patterson twinning.
Nice.
Really?
Look, it sucks to show up in the same outfit for somebody else with a big game like this, but there are not a lot of dinosaur sweaters out there. If you're gonna wear a dinosaur sweater playing for a dinosaur team, you gotta take the chance that you wear the same one as one of your teammates. All the Raptors should wear these to a game.
Yeah.
They're in Raptors colors.
They should be the shooting shirts.
Well, that's the
That'd be
thing.
awesome.
All the fans wear the same colour shirt, so why not the players dress up? One day, Trey and I are going to walk into work together, and just coincidentally, we're going to have the same
I
outfit
thought
on.
like
Yeah,
one
we have
day,
similar
one
styles.
day Trey
Probably
and
not.
Hey, you never know.
I thought one day you and Trey, Tass and Trey had the same shirt on here on the show. I guess it happens.
That's true, yeah.
It has happened.
Were you
Deep in the
embarrassed?
annals. Yeah, I was embarrassed, but only because Tass wore it better. If I was wearing it better, I'd be like, sucks for him.
Mine was just freshly pressed.
Yeah, mine was very wrinkly.
It was on Urban Outfitters, I believe.
Yeah, I think our wives probably both bought those shirts for us.
All right, let's hear from the
Same
people.
location.
Let's hear from the people out there. Thumbs up or thumbs down on all of the topics there in the Up Down report. It was a cool sweater. $800. I don't know about that. I don't know if it was that cool, but
Well, T-Rex is extinct, so.
good point.
You gotta pay a lot.
All right, after the jump, we'll look ahead to tonight's NBA action, including whether OKC's season comes to an end.
The Starters on NBA TV is brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey, proud partner of the NBA. Do your friends proud. Please drink responsibly.
3 games on tonight. We got a TNT doubleheader getting started around 8 p.m. Eastern with the Thunder and the Rockets. Rockets looking to close this one out in 5. Jazz Clippers, the second game of that TNT doubleheader. That one's tied at 2, and sandwiched in between there. Fantastic looking Game 5 between the Grizzlies and Spurs. That series, of course, tied at 2 apiece as well. But let's look ahead, break all 3 down, ask the big questions when it comes to these games. Trey, take it away.
Only one series can end tonight, and that's the MVP showdown where the Rockets lead the Thunder 3-1. So, simple question, will the Rockets close out the Thunder tonight?
I think they do. I think they're just concentrating on getting out to a good start, hence the $1 concession stand, because in Game 2, their last game at home, they were down 9 after the first quarter, and they believe if we can get out to a good lead before Russ goes to the bench,
You can put them
we're
away.
solid.
Right.
And I think that's all they're worried about. Game 1, Game 2, they came out of the first quarter down to the Thunder. That's what they're worried about. I think that is their primary concern, and that should be their primary concern.
Yeah, I don't think this is how we want Westbrook's season to end, though. I think he's got one more of his monster games in, and you say when he goes to the bench, he might not go to the bench tonight if they're down or if it's close, because we know that they have. He wasn't happy when the question was asked him in the media the other day, but when he goes to the bench, they do struggle.
Minus 40 in the series without Westbrook out
and
there.
tonight they have no more chances. If they obviously lose tonight, they're done. So I think Westbrook might play a lot of minutes, and I think he's got one more just amazing moment left.
I think he has a great game, but they still lose because of the second half. That last game, he was 5-17. I think he wants some revenge. 5-17, 4 turnovers, but I don't think it'll be enough with a bumping, feeling good Rockets crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, James Harden he's going to play in this. Obviously, he's talked about having a sore ankle, saying it's sort of limiting him from sort of exploding to the basket, but. It's weird because the Rockets don't need an A+ game from James Harden. We've seen that in this series. Whereas the Thunder, I mean, they really do need an A+ game from Westbrook to really win it. So, like, Nene last game went to 28 points, and Lou Williams had the 18, and Eric Gordon had 18. Those were guys all off the bench. I mean, they're a good squad. Harden can bring a B game, and they can still win this. I was the lone guy here taking the Thunder in this series, but I have to agree with you because I feel like the Rockets will close this out in 5, in a very entertaining 5, but 5 nonetheless. But we'll see. All right, Trey, next one.
Kawhi Leonard is averaging nearly 33 points per game, but the Spurs lost games 3 and 4 to Memphis. The series is now tied, headed back to San Antonio. So will Kawhi Leonard get any help?
Yeah, this is a great question because Kawhi Leonard's performance in Game 4 was amazing, but it did sort of paper over the cracks a little bit for the San Antonio Spurs offense. Outside of Tony Parker, they didn't get a lot of help, and they haven't had a lot of help in Game 3 and 4. So I wonder if the Grizzlies tonight maybe make their focus, let Kawhi get whatever he wants to get, and see what the other
away
guys...
all these other guys,
Yeah,
or try to at least.
because the Grizzlies are a very good defensive team, and Kawhi was great. Obviously, he was fantastic in Game 4, but can he carry the load all night long, which is not the way the Spurs play at all either. So this is going to be a tough game for, I think, the San Antonio Spurs to sort of see where they're at as well, because a lot of guys have been struggling so far in the playoffs for them.
I think things will change going home. And you mentioned Tony Parker. He had 22 in Game 4.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very solid game, and things just are a little different. Listen, they spanked the Grizzlies in the first 2 games. And it's easy to forget that because it seems so long ago.
Right.
But the Grizzlies obviously came back and fought. But this is
The Grizzlies came back in Game 2, remember? They cut
did
that
a little
down
bit,
from 26 down to 4. A couple of possessions either way, and it could have been
Yeah,
different
and a big
series.
part of that was Zach Randolph, obviously, starting that
Yeah.
second half, and they've continued to start him. I think that's been huge. Kevin O'Connor on The Ringer, I heard today, he had a good point. I hadn't really thought about it. Kawhi Leonard is by far the best player in this series, no doubt. But then second best player in the series, Mike Conley probably. Third best, Marc
Gasol.
Gasol. Fourth best,
Zebo.
I think it's Zebo.
Yeah.
I mean, the Spurs get the best player, but if they're not getting contributions from Danny Green, who struggled at least in Memphis with his shot, and some of these other guys, and in Patty Mills and so on, then that's enough, I think, with the three big of the Grizzlies.
Yeah,
but,
Tony's been
but I
good
think
in
you're
3
right.
of 4 games.
Yeah, but the role players, they play better at home.
Yeah.
And if that continues, then the Spurs would probably take this one, but
We got a juicy series.
feels like it could be 7 for sure. All right, final one, Trey.
The Clippers may have lost Blake Griffin for the remainder of the season, but don't worry. Austin Rivers is back for Game 5. He's going to be on a minutes restriction, but will Austin Rivers make a difference?
Yeah, the minutes restriction might be like 12 minutes, Doc Rivers was saying. That's quite the restriction. So I don't know how much of a difference he could make, but I guess they could really use it. They could use someone to play some scrappy defense, which Rivers can actually do, and maybe to hit some threes with Redick having struggled from there. So maybe he does. Maybe we saw him have some pretty unbelievable performances in last year's playoffs. I don't think he's going to be the same as he was then because he's got this strained left hamstring, but they need some defense and some threes, so maybe he does. Who knows?
Yeah, obviously without Blake Griffin, someone has to come in and fill those minutes, and Redick hasn't been doing it for them. I don't think you want to rely on Jamal Crawford again to have to carry with 25. You need to sort of share that around. So there's a great opportunity there for Austin. Whether or not he can deliver is going to be the question.
We will see. Take a break. When we come back, Lily's VSP. You're watching The Starters, presented by Jack Daniels, Tennessee Honey. Don't go anywhere. We asked you, what is Larry Bird's driver nickname? You hit us up on Twitter, #TheStarters. Trey, gotta be the best answers.
Yeah, some really good answers. This one comes from Sacramento, who suggests simply the Indiana Racer. Should have thought of that.
Nice.
Aaron says Larry Left Lane, don't mind it. And then 2 that are similar, both good. Gorilla says the quick hick from French Lick. But Fear the Deer says the hick who drives stick.
Oh, that's better.
Both are great.
Oh, that's better.
All right, you win, Fear the Deer.
Good stuff. Lily, VSP.
We're going to Toronto for the rare playoff double-ender. Starts here with a beautiful little steal there, poke away from DeMar DeRozan, and look at this transition basket. Everyone gets involved before it ends with Corey Joseph for a...
Switch
Oh yes, that's what I call a very solid play.
It is time.
Awkward. We got the Twitter show. Oh man, we had a blast talking about the first round action, and Lee went full Rain Man, recalling everything that happened in each game of the Pistons Blazers '90 finals.
Game 1, Blazers
Man,
led
preach,
for
man,
42
preach.
minutes, and then Isaiah took over. Game 2, Billy Laimbeer hit 6 threes in a loss.
Billy.
Game 3, Danny Young hit a half-court shot that didn't count after the buzzer, would have sent the game to overtime.
Game 4?
Game 4, what happened in Game 4? I think Isaiah hit 5 threes. Then Game 5, Pistons were up 7 with about a minute 50 to go, didn't score again. And Isaiah deferred to Vinnie Johnson to hit the series-winning, championship-winning shot, and Vinnie delivered.
The microwave.
Yeah,
Great stuff.
what a legend.
How very interesting.
Now it's time for our fan of the night, this sad statue man in Portland. He doesn't move. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. He's not going to move. This has not been edited. This is
real
not a
man.
still image.
I'm glad I saw him blink because I wasn't
Yeah,
believing it.
he did. He blinked once.
There you go, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, twinning.
Embrace the night, people. Oh, look at you guys.